Should an F2P pull for Dr.Ratio? Short answer, no. Long answer, this entire video. Ah yes, the doctor who ratioed that other game to hell and back. Now should an F2P pull for him? Well, you already know the answer. No, he's free. Alright, cut. Video's over. But if you really like this somehow incredibly buff nerd, we'll talk about if you should pull on his Eidolons. Since this is an F2P shoot you pull, I'm only going to go through his E1. So this on the screen is his E1 effect. So what it does is that it makes his A2 trace be able to go up to 10 stacks and have 4 stacks immediately at the beginning of battle. His A2 trace allows him to get a stacking buff of crit rate and crit damage when he uses his skill on a debuff enemy. The more debuff the enemy has, the more stacks he gets when using his skill on that enemy. The buff lasts for the entire battle, and the maximum stacks without E1 is only 6. Without E1, his maximum stack buff would provide 15% crit rate and 30% crit damage respectively, but with E1, it goes up to 25% crit rate and 50% crit damage, and you start the battle with 10% extra crit rate and 20% extra crit rate initially, so less setup is required for him to reach his maximum potential. Now I don't know the exact amount of DPS increase you get from this Eidolon, and there are dedicated channels to make those calculations, but I do know that in total it provides Dr.Ratio with an additional 10% crit rate and 20% crit damage at maximum stacks. So should you, as an F2P, pull for Dr.Ratio's E1? Now I won't go into too much detail here, but his signature light cone gives him crit damage, even more crit damage when you attack a debuff enemy stacking up to 3, a 2-turn damage buff after he uses his ultimate, and also allows his follow-up attack to ignore 24% of the target's defense. That's a lot of damage buff packed into one light cone, so if you have Jades lying around and you want to invest it in Dr.Ratio, in my opinion you'll get a lot more mileage out of his light cone instead of his Eidolon. The whole needing to have debuffs for him to deal maximum damage might be a bit daunting, but with debuffers like Pela and Silverwolf for the more premium option, which he's designed to pair with, it shouldn't be difficult to keep at least 3 debuffs on one enemy consistently. Now I'd like to talk about this light cone in greater detail, but I'll save it for another video that's more dedicated to his light cone. That's all I wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed the video or found the video helpful, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.